Dad, on D-Day, do you remember that morning?
It was very, very quiet, and of course we didn't know ahead of time what was going to happen. So it wasn't until we were ready to go on the flight line that the chaplain came out and blessed the formation and announced that this was the day we'd been waiting for, and there would be thousands of planes in the air. Some of them would be bound below us, and we'd be being directed by central aircraft that were controlling this was called D-Day, denouement day, and the chaplain gave us a big prayer, and we looked at each other and something must going to be happening today, and sure enough, it was.
So how far did you go out, and how long was your flight? Do you remember?
Oh, we had extra tanks, and we went to the edge of the. We had to go past the line of combat on the ground, and bomb areas behind the lines where they had built up this huge concentration of artillery and munitions. It was a day, they called it D-Day, and it was denouement day. It was a French word that we didn't know, we didn't use very often, and there was.
What was your altitude?
Well, we had different airplanes at different altitudes. The B-17s had a turbocharger that they could go way up there, 29,000 feet.
Oh.
But we didn't fly that high. We had an internal compressor in the engines. The turbocharged engines had a centrifuge driven by the exhaust gas of the engine, and it was a high-speed spinning thing that compressed the air, because when you get to altitude, their air is thin, and there isn't enough oxygen in it to run an engine. You get in the high mountains, you can't hardly light a campfire in the high mountains because there's not as much oxygen.
Right.
So this all had to be figured out ahead of time. But we had a high-speed turbine that was driven off of the exhaust from the engine, and we had to get that thing to spinning to compress the air. If you wanted to go up to 29,000 feet, you had to have these spinning centrifuges to press the air, and then it had to have an enclosed system. It wasn't open to the atmosphere. It was all enclosed, and it was cramming this air in there to have enough oxygen in it to burn the hydrocarbons. Of course, when they started having atomic reactors, they didn't have to do that, because they had the heat and they had the electrical power from the generators, which is automatic, was driven by energy from this uranium compound, and they didn't have to have fan belts or anything. It was an energy that they could compress air and burn the oxygen and go up.